Hey, little thing, let me light your candle. Now.
Bow, 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 bow.
Hi.
I I sometimes get that song confused with "Are You Gonna Go My Way?" Uh, and I had the first karaoke bar I adopted in Pennsylvania, which was in Doylestown, and not in Philly. Uh, there was a somebody I would chat with. She and her friend would always perform that exact song and no other song at karaoke. It was just that one song and nothing else.
I've been
Uh,
thinking about this with some frequency. What do you think the most common karaoke songs are?
Before he cheats, like it's almost
Yeah,
unavoidable.
100%.
But
I agree.
Mr. Brightside is
Yep.
also like
Yep.
basically unavoidable.
Gotta be
Like
top
if you do
10.
a karaoke night without either of those being performed, something strange happened.
I think Bohemian Rhapsody is probably on the list.
Oh, for sure. Have I ever told you about? I think I mentioned this in one of our live streams. So I talked about karaoke violence in the Philippines.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Apparently, don't perform my way in the Philippines ever.
I did it my way. Zach, we're doing this thing.
Bam. Sorry, I just shot you performing my way by Frank Sinatra.
Pow.
Uh,
Get that
uh,
boom boom pow.
uh,
All right, Zach.
so yeah,
Zach, once again, we're
we're
doing
back,
this thing.
we're back to the resolution bowl. We're doing
Yeah,
a check-in.
yeah. We're doing it. I don't know. It's May 23rd, which is the time when we decided to do this.
Yep. It's not the halfway point. That's going to be at the end of next month.
Yep.
It's not even the end of this month. There's
Yep.
still over a week left to go.
Yep.
And for uh, you know purposes of making things fair, we always say you have up until the resolution is counted at the counting party to complete it. So you do have a little bit of time in January usually, and that's probably how our video is going to work as well. We have until that video is recorded to get all these things done.
I think you
There's
mean until that video is live streamed. You
ooh,
better
yeah.
goddamn believe that I am going to be running in a 10K on that day. Zach.
Yeah. I have a fun thing to bring up when uh you mentioned the 10K because I have a suggestion for you to make it even more fun, and I'll give you even more points if you do it. But we'll save that for when we get there.
How about we do it? Maybe we do it this way. What do you think of like striking them as
Yeah,
we like
or like
as
yeah,
we talk about them?
or check marking them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll give it like an X if we haven't finished it, and like a check if we have.
green check mark. Yeah,
Yeah,
if we have.
yeah, I like it.
Okay,
Sure.
okay, that sounds good with me,
Yeah,
and we can just go back and
and
forth.
like honestly, in no particular order, let's talk about a 10K. Zach, I haven't done a damn bit of training at this point.
I have a wonderful suggestion for you, and I don't know if I've brought it up yet. Have I think I've mentioned the Rocky Run to you?
Um, uh, uh, yes, you have.
The Rocky Run, the full one, if I look it up, I think is more than a 10K. Rocky Run. If I so for those who don't live in Philadelphia or have never seen the movie Rocky, there's a wonderful training montage in Rocky where he's just shown running all the way throughout different parts of Philadelphia, ending with him running up the stairs at the beautiful, gorgeous Philadelphia Art Museum. The Rocky Run tries to emulate that a little bit. It's mostly on the Schuylkill River Trail, but you do run quite a bit. There is the 5K route, and then there is the 10-mile route, which is, quite a bit of a difference.
Yeah, as we
Uh,
discussed in whenever we did this proper one when I was in a dang airport in dang Charlotte, North Carolina. Uh, I have done I've run a half marathon before. That is my current maximum, which is 13.1 miles. However, I hurt my knee quite badly last year, so I am just starting to get back to a place where I am able to begin distance running again.
So there's the Italian Stallion Challenge, which is the 13.1 mile run.
Yep.
I don't know if that counts as a 10K or not.
That's a you said a 13.1 mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a half marathon. That's about 21K.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you want the most epic ending to your long run possible, you should come down to Philly and do the Rocky Run, and then literally end your resolution by running up the stairs like the end of a Rocky training montage.
Yeah,
I
like,
can't think of a better end to that.
run up and like we'll have somebody with a boombox up there playing the music like ba-da-da.
Oh, I guaranteed they're blasting Gonna Fly Now during that entire marathon. I haven't been to one, but it would be wrong if they weren't.
For people who don't know, they go 5K to 10K to is this on screen even? To
Yes.
21K to 42K. And then I think that the next one after that is 100K, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked into them after that. There's a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a full marathon. The full marathon is about 42 miles.
I'm thinking of doing the Rocky Run 5K.
Do it. Yeah. 5K. I have said this before. 5Ks are not so long that you need to like honestly like really need to train. And like I am not a personal trainer. Do not take the like just like all my legal advice. This is not legal advice and this is not like healthcare advice. But a 5K is really not hard. It's 3 miles. It is jogging. If you take it at a jog, you're jogging for about 45 minutes. And if you're, at a casual, like somewhere between a walk and a jog, can you walk/jog for an hour straight?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your feet are probably gonna hurt, but yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely done that before for work. So
yeah, like with the amount of walking that you do for work, I think that you like your chest would probably hurt by the end of like mile 2. But a 5K is only 3 miles.
Yeah.
I think you can do it. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to you tell me a day when I need to be in town for a 5K and I'll come in town for a 5K.
11/11/23 is the Rocky Run 5K. Which I think will be a blast.
Hang on here.
If you're able to stay down through Thanksgiving, the Bills are playing the Eagles on the 26th.
Hey! That'll be a very exciting day.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hell of a time. My mom and I are gonna try and go see that one live in person. That'll be a blast, and I will definitely run into some friends and former coworkers there who will finally have the rights to be mad at me for being a Bills fan because it's the only time it actually matters.
Does the Rocky Run 5K also have a 10K?
It has the. I don't know if it is a 10K specifically. It has the.
Zach, you stopped clicking and started clicking again.
It's peculiar.
How is the clicking back? Have you like changed position? Is it like knocking against your zipper or something?
Position, I think when I have my laptop on my chest, my keys make weird noises, and I don't know why.
Well, whatever position you're in right now, you're clicking.
It's bad, and it shouldn't do it. Okay.
Yes.
Let me move my laptop to a different position.
If it was the light occasional clicks, I don't think it would be an issue. But it is quite significant clicky clacking. And like to the viewers, eat my ass. You get what you get.
You know what you signed up for.
You know what this is. But for me, that makes me want to remove the fillings from my teeth.
I think it's just the 5K, the 10-mile route, and the combined.
Shoot. Okay.
I don't know how long a 10-mile is. Is that less than a 10K?
No, it's more
than miles.
A 10K is about is 6.2 miles.
Okay.
Which again is not easy by any means, but it is running. It's jogging for like an hour and a half. And if my sexual history has taught me anything, that's really not that long for cardio.
Yeah, that's
Got him.
true.
Rocky Run 5K. That is in my calendar. I'm going to set a reminder like 2 weeks before then. And I will absolutely come out for the Rocky Run 5K. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome.
And you know
I'll
what?
be there.
I will make it, like, if I have to route it myself, I bet I can make that into a time when I turn that into my 10K that is the like the conclusion to the resolution.
Where you run a 5K to get to the starting line.
Yeah, exactly. No, literally.
Actually,
I will route backwards another 5 kilometers and time it so that I am crossing the starting line right around at the starting gun.
yeah, that's totally
Yeah,
feasible. Start from you're starting at the art museum. You could probably start from City Hall, and that'd be a 5K.
well, no, what?
Uh,
Yeah, what? So it starts. It goes from the starting point is somewhere, and the ending point is um.
the 5K is a loop, so you start and end at the art museum.
Oh hell yeah! Then I'll just start at the art museum and do a double loop. Yeah, is that on race day? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable.
Get ready for a 10K in 2 weeks. And I will have to. I was thinking about doing the Buffalo Marathon this weekend, doing the Buffalo Marathon 5K, but I don't think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I just got too much
Still,
fun.
I am back in Buffalo, and it is still kind of cold out here.
Unironically, I would like my ideal running weather is like 40 degrees.
Oh,
I
interesting.
I hate being hot.
Yeah, that tracks.
Oh my god, I don't know what the ideal running temperature is, but it is much closer to freezing than it is to 70 degrees. So there, yeah, that's my 10K. I have not started training, but like a 5K is not that hard, and I know I remember exactly how long it took me to train for a 10K last time, and it was about 6 weeks. So, I'll have to like casually start training over the summer, to regain my muscle strength. I'll do a couple of 5Ks, and then we should be okay. I think that is a reasonable, acceptable goal that I have not hit yet. Zach, let's talk about your original album.
Oh boy. So let me go into details here. I had everything quote unquote finished, but not to standards I was super happy with. And with one exception, I have a co-vocalist on this. I think I've explained before. This is a concept album, rock opera, whatever you want to call it. It's not really rock, but this is a album with a story behind it. And it was very important that I have two different characters played by two different voices. I have a friend of mine who is a wonderful vocalist who like fits this character super duper well, and I have not gotten around to getting her like to record all the vocals because I just haven't like had everything to my standards. So since our last video, I axed two of the songs that just weren't working for me and completely rewrote them from scratch, which I'm very happy with. I'm very happy with the new songs I came up with. And I turned what I thought was potentially the weakest song on the album into what might now be the strongest song on the album. So that is a real, like, just nice feeling to have. I need to record the vocals to that, which I'm going to do in the next couple days, because that one's all me. There's another one that I reworked, which is a duet, so I'm going to need to record my vocals. There's one song I'm changing the lyrics to make it a little classier. And otherwise, I just need to record those vocals on some other ones. I have my friend Sarah record her vocals, and then it, like, musically, it should be ready. Sarah's also a talented artist, so she's going to make the album art for the album, and then...
Oh, Mandy's going to be pissed.
Oh, Mandy's going to be... Mandy can do album art in a future album.
No, okay.
I do have another one But I definitely had another couple albums cooking, which is good because we'll get to the album of originals and covers, and I'll tell you some ideas, and maybe you can help me pin down which one I should actually put the effort into. Uh, then uh, the Mandy could absolutely do the album art for. Uh, I promised this one a while ago. So the album's not released yet, but I'm still aiming for a late August release because it's very college themed. The characters are in college. They meet in college. I think releasing it right as some people are starting to go back to or their first time to college might make it resonate with people a little bit more. So that's when I'm going to release it.
I am extremely excited. And I think that this is a cool segue because you are working on something that is quite important to you and might be put out
So are
to
you with the book?
to the nerds in this crazy little place that we inhabit, and so am I. I have done kind of fuck all with it so far.
It's a very similar thing where you have a book that you started a while ago, did most of the principal work on a while ago. I've probably made some tweaks and changes to in the interim, but you're really letting it stew a little bit before
Yeah.
you're ready to put it out the door. I've heard somebody say, multiple people say, all art is abandoned, quote unquote, which I guess is technically true, but it feels hard to let something go when you think if I spend X amount more time on it, it could be way better. It's very hard. It's very hard to let go and say something's done.
Yeah, and this of course is distinct from letting something go and saying this sucks, right? Saying this
Yeah,
sucks and is bad, and I don't want to, and I do not think that it is worth finishing. Or I don't, or to internalize that you don't have the energy to finish it.
yeah.
There is a point that everyone must get. That's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is that there's a point that you have to get to where you have to say, all right, this is good enough.
Yeah.
This is good enough.
The,
This is okay. I have gotten it to 80%. I would like to get it to 92% because it takes
very few pieces of writing. I also write. I do the music, obviously. Very few things I've ever felt like were even in the '90s when I released them.
and
Like
the dis
'80 is usually where I tap out and say it's good enough.
the amount of time that it takes to get it from 0 to 80 is as long as the time to get it from 80 to 90. Um,
Well, I would say
and
I get most things from 0 to 70, and then it's a long ass time to get it to 80, and it's a long ass time to get it to 85, and then to get to 90 is nigh
this
impossible.
motherfucker over here hopping in the middle of my metaphors to deliver the same
I'm
metaphors.
adding to your metaphor.
This
Go for it.
motherfucker hopping
Wait,
in.
wait, wait.
I'm 2/3 of
Keep
the way
your
through the metaphor, and you're like, wait a minute,
metaphor.
I'll restate it and do the rest, you fucking nerd.
Go for it. Go for it.
No, you did. No. What do you mean, go for it? You said the same thing, nerd. Yeah, it takes as much time to get it from 80 to 90 as it does to get it from 90 to 93, and then it's the same amount of time to get it from 93 to 95, and then from 95 to 96. And you can keep pushing against that wall as long as you want and as hard as you want. But it's never gonna get to 100, so just get it out at fucking 80. It's fine.
Yeah. It is what it is. And you're also the worst critic of your own piece of media because only you know what it looks like in your head.
I'm trying to find a way to like strike these, and I haven't found one that I'm happy with yet.
Yeah. You in your head know what you were trying to live up to and that you didn't quite reach it. But your audience does not know that. They did not know what your idea was. It is a complete idea to them the second you release it. It can be weak. It can show that it can seem like it was supposed to be more ambitious. But unless you really, really, really fall short, most people will never notice. And that's where I'm at with this album is once I'm happy with the vocals and the way they sound, it's done. There's nothing more for me to try and fix or clean up or add. Is it perfect? No, and I know exactly what every song was supposed to sound like in my brain. But Tom, you don't. You
Yeah,
don't know what those songs were supposed to sound like. You
yeah.
just know them as they are.
I know them as you release them, and the song I don't know the songs that you intended to have. What I know are the songs that you have, and the songs that you have fucking rock.
Yeah, the ones you've heard, you've been like huge fan of, and that's been true for like all the teases I've given people. Is like they're really looking forward to this album, and same with your book. From what I've read, and admittedly, I should have read way more of it, but every bit I have read, I've been pumped.
Let me
Like
express.
the poker game you sent me.
Oh yeah,
There's a scene where they're playing poker. Phenomenal.
that's a fun
I was
that's a fun
glued to
scene.
that.
I like that scene a lot.
Yeah.
One of Let me express one of the problems with this. I hate. I have a lot of trouble rereading things that I have written. Um, and what it needs is for me to sit down for for like 25 uninterrupted hours and just edit the shit out of it. Rip
Yeah.
out, rearrange, hit my head, reword, hit my head again, smoke a fat bowl and do that again for 21 hours in a row.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of trouble making myself do that. So
It's tough.
like unironically, I'm thinking about I don't know how I would do that in a like a like a public forum sort of way. But I've been pondering that. If anyone has any ideas, I'd be open to taking them.
I have difficulty rereading my finished works. Like I don't read my own SCPs all that often, because, and I don't know if we write similarly in this regard. I develop a very unique like brain space for each little writing project, and like I have to like structure my thoughts in such a way, and it feels like I release that when I'm done, if that makes sense. And it's weird going back to the way my brain was at that point because it's not there anymore. I don't know if that's true for you.
I absolutely sympathize. Yeah, once I have moved on from and that is why I always recommend to people if you are starting a project, don't walk away from the project unless it's in a place where you're comfortable leaving it, right? Not comfortable publishing it, but comfortable leaving it. When I wrote this book, it's 75,000 goddamn words. And I knew that if I stopped at 68,000 words, I would fucking never finish it. But as it is now, it is a finished bad book. And it can live forever as a finished bad book, and I can come back to it at any time. But like
And
if
now it's just speaking. It's not the writing and ending. It's not the trying to continue the character arcs that weren't as alive as they were in your brain previously. Like I
exactly.
don't know if I could ever do a sequel to some of my favorite SCPs in a truest sense because the way those characters live in my brain now is different from how they lived in my brain when I was writing.
You know what, Zach? I am just gonna do it this way. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Boop. Look at them. They're gone.
Yeah, a little dot left from the 5K.
So I have not completed my book editing yet. I would like to, but I have made very little progress since the last update. Zach, you want to talk about health resolutions?
Sure.
Uh, you have on here end the year below 200 pounds, and I have on here I have my restaurant resolution, which is its own sort of can of worms. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's do my weight one. I've been hovering and I'm going back down a little bit. So I started to climb a little bit back up. There's without saying too much of what my job entails. Uh, there is multiple segments of it. One of them is very good for losing weight because one of them, the tail end, I was walking a ton. I would actually walk about 16 miles a day, which is incredible. Uh, like low end would be 12 miles and high end was like 16, 17, 8, which, you know, is it's really easy to burn more calories than you consume when you're walking that much. Not only because you're burning a ton of calories, because when you're doing an activity that requires you to walk 16 miles, you don't have time to stop and get food. So that was a boon at the end there. But the period before is a nightmare because you're expected basically every single day, with maybe one day off, but usually none, to sit in a room and do nothing but talk to people as much as you're capable of for 10 hours a day. And also, it's very mentally taxing, so you're going to want food from a mental perspective. So there was a point where I just could not lose any weight. I think I am down to exactly 230 now, which was basically a little bit below where I started. So I stemmed the bleeding from my job, which was going to, you know, always be an issue. And I'm a lot better with the not stress eating, not consuming calories to make up for lack of sleep, et cetera, that I was
Dude,
doing before.
oh my God, dude, I
I'm in
feel
a
that
better spot
last bit. Oh
now.
my
And
God.
the good news is, when you get used to walking 16 miles every day, like doing 5 or 6 miles every day is nothing. It's so easy for me to just, you know what, I'm going to go walk 8 blocks for no goddamn good reason and then come back. And then one of my roommates wants to go for a walk later and I'll go with him. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world at a certain point. I'm back in my comfortable, sweet Buffalo suburb that I grew up in right now. But when I get back to the comfortable, sweet Philadelphia suburb that I resided most of the time, uh, there's a fitness, exercise, sports area at a local park that I'm going to be using a lot more. I'm going to play more Dag because the weather's good for Dagger here.
Dag's so much
And
fun.
it is so much fun. And we are probably going to move into Philly proper later this summer, but we're going to move to an area that is one, full of parks where we can do similar activities, and two, on the Schuylkill River Trail, which I'm going to get very used to. If you want to geotag me, start walking the Schuylkill River Trail. You might want I'll
Zach,
be there.
you're gonna have to start carrying around pins.
I'm going to have to start carrying around pins, yeah.
Um, so this there's always a danger to weight loss resolutions, right?
Yeah.
That like it can feel, especially if you're doing like high activity muscle gain uh uh exercising, like
Yeah.
walking fucking 16 miles a day, uh that it can feel like you're not making progress even though you are becoming healthier. Uh,
Yes.
I happen to have seen you quite recently. I came and picked you up when you came back into town. And Zach, you look pretty good, frankly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have like muscle fat,
Yeah.
which is troubling because that means I'm not losing as much weight as I'd like. But
Now, see,
uh,
we use the word troubling.
I'm also tan. I'm also tan as hell now.
This is very true.
I am like noticeably tanner than every person I know in the Buffalo Niagara region.
Like you are notably, like, what's the turn of phrase? You are notably larger than the last time I saw you, because you have like bulked up quite significantly. Actually, you
Yeah.
you look like you've been doing some like middle and lower body like weight training. You know, like like you look like you've been doing some resistance training. You look pretty good, dude. Okay, you look pretty good.
Thank you.
And you say like keep that in mind. You might, I don't believe, I would actually be very surprised if you're losing weight considering the amount of muscle mass that
I
you put
am,
on.
but it's definitely being offset a little bit. I
Yeah.
still think under 200 is perfectly achievable, but I think like my more ambitious goals are going to be shot through muscle gain. I think I'm probably going to have to be a stocky like 185 instead of a slender like 165.
You know what that
And it's fine by me. I will be short and stocky. I will be a fantasy dwarf.
uh
That's fine by
I was going to make a comparison to a rugby player actually.
I will. You know what? There are probably people in the comments thirsting for rugby players, Zach.
Right, we
So
we take
I'm
those, right? We take rugby player.
yes.
uh uh when life gives you genes that you're not fond of, you buy an electric razor. You say, I don't want your damn lemons. Zach, I have restaurant resolution.
Yeah, you're eating at restaurants fewer than 24 times, so less than 2 months, less than twice a month for the rest of the year.
Yes.
And that's difficult because you travel and you go to conventions and you do all sorts of things where the easiest thing to do would just be to go get food.
Oh yeah.
And this is a combined fitness and finance because food that you get at restaurants is usually not great for you, and it's difficult to calorie count. They have calories written down there, but they're,
Oh my god, yeah.
ballpark.
And I go to the Cheesecake Factory, I do not eat some cheesecake, right?
Yeah,
I
you eat a lot of cheesecake.
Right, I will actually I unironically will eat 3 pieces of cheesecake on my own. I miss Fat Tom sometimes. Like Tom who would actually eat 4,500 calories a day. Man, I miss that Tom. I loved that Tom. I loved embodying the soul of gluttony. My God. I could tank a pizza in 45 minutes. Oh, Jesus Christ. I could go. You knew me in college. You knew me when I was dorming.
That was also back when I was I was weighed less. My weight fluctuated a lot. This is you can see not to name any names, but I dated somebody who would stress eat and bring people along, and then I dated somebody who didn't do that, and the effect on my waistline was pronounced when I stopped helping somebody stress eat.
It's remarkable. It is.
Yes.
And it's hard to not do that, and it's fucking expensive to do that. Holy shit!
Yes.
You know
what you bring up the Cheesecake Factory. Here's a fun little side bit. Me and nearly a dozen friends, not even nearly a dozen, I think it was 9 people total, went to Cheesecake Factory for somebody's birthday.
Oh no!
Right after the end of the last tear of work before this will be most recent one I went down.
Don't dive right into the number. Give us a moment and we're gonna prices right this shit.
We couldn't. We weren't fully sold on appetizers for everybody, so I have a good friend. I'll just mention his full name on the internet, and he'll just give me shit if he's not happy about it. I'll use his last name. We refer to him by his last name, Loftus, because there's too many people with his first name. There's only 2 people with his first name, but
okay.
he is the spiritual embodiment of Philadelphia, the city. He has told us many times about different fights he's gotten into, which he has all recorded on video and shows off to people.
Okay.
His defense, every time somebody's mortified about the fight he got in, is like, yeah, look, you can see me breaking their leg right there. Is yeah, but they were a crackhead though, which was a horrible thing to say. But he's like, no, they were on crack. I had to defend myself.
That is an awful thing to say. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's not funny, right?
Oh yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
And I feel that that's a distinction that we human beings need to make. We as a society need to understand that, man, you're a shitty person. This story is funny, but you are a shitty person.
He's aware that he was working security, so part of his job was just to fight people.
Right. I'm not encouraging you to do this, but I do want the stories when you do.
Yes, he is that kind of friend to me. I'm not going to say that he has made all the best choices in life, but his choices are amusing, and I want to hear about all of them.
Perfect.
He also speaks with the thickest Philly accent possible, so he says "water" instead of "water." Water. It's great. But he was
does he scrub things with washcloths?
I'll have to ask him.
Yes.
But he was the one who said, "Why don't we just name the 6 appetizers we like the most and split all of them between the table?"
Okay.
So that's what we did, and then People ordered entrees.
Holy Jesus
Some of
Christ.
them. I don't think everybody did. I think some people were happy with just appetizers, but several people ordered entrees, and then people were drinking alcohol. Also, they had
Yeah.
alcoholic beverages at Cheesecake Factory, and
My God.
then I think some people got some dessert because it was our friend, not that friend, another friend. It was her birthday, and so uh, we got the receipt.
Hey, hang on. We got to Price is Right this shit. You got to let me guess. You got to let me
Yes.
guess.
Go for it.
So we got
what's your guess on the price here?
6 apps.
Yeah,
What do you
at least 4 entrees, maybe 5 entrees.
5 entrees. Uh,
At least 2 desserts
honest,
and
2 desserts. And 12 drinks. Maybe more.
I don't want to say 12 drinks. Maybe I think everybody mostly had one, except for Noelle, but she drinks. Well, no, I think Noelle had 1 drink, and then she had a bunch at the bar later.
We'll call it 10 for easy math.
It's less than that. Let's go with 5.
5 drinks? 5
No,
drinks at a table of 9 people?
Me and Jackson just had water.
Oh.
Like I remember that. Sorry,
oh
water.
yeah, okay.
All
right. No.
Technically, I was the king of Prussia. If you want to visit this, if you want to visit an interesting nerd location, go to the Cheesecake Factory in King of Prussia in the mall. That's where this was. You can visit the place where I spent amount of money that Tom is about to guess.
All right. So, Price is Right rules, closest without going over. Honor system, you have to write it down right now without looking at any other comments.
I'm gonna pull up the receipt because I think I still have the picture.
Oh my God, yes.
I think I almost said his first name instead of his last. I shouldn't have picked his last name. Well, the problem is I know too many people with that first name, and they will get mentioned eventually. Let's see. Let me see. Let me go to Signal.
Yeah, I have my guess.
Okay.
Closest without going over, huh? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Mine. Yeah. I have my guess.
Oh, there it is. November 15th. It wasn't December. Maybe direct message it to me. Direct message. Direct. Let's see.
All right. No one. Everyone, please hold your breath while Zach finds.
I don't know if it saved the. I don't know if it saved the image. I remember the amount though.
All right.
Okay. I got it written down. Give me your answer.
6 apps plus 5 entrees is $270 plus 2 desserts is $300. I'm gonna call this $350 plus tax. I'm gonna wager 8% plus another 35. $390 plus tip.
It was $1,000.
Holy fucking Jesus! What the fuck do you mean it was $1,000? What the fuck do you mean?
Cheesecake Factory recently.
It was $1,000. Hang the fuck on. Hold the fucking phone. Let's break this down. All right. How many things do we have here? 5, 18. Right. What is 1,000 divided by 18, Zach?
What is 1,000 divided by
that is 50. Fucking 50. You're telling me that you pay that the average price of these things was $52. You ordered off of a menu that had things listed for $52.
Maybe definitely the entrees were like fucking in the 45 range.
That's fine. No, they need to average to 52. That means that the median needs to be, there needs to be as many things over 52 as under 52. If the drinks were 15...
There are more desserts than I'm remembering.
If the drinks were 15, Zach, that means that the entrees needed to be 90. Did you order a $90 entree and not get a lap dance for it?
I think there might have been more desserts. I think we were too conservative on the amount of desserts that were ordered.
Jesus Christ, they're $20 per slice of cheesecake. That's a lot, but I only counted 2. My God. Oh my God. God,
That detour
fucking-
aside,
I
you see why you don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory. It's not just the health reasons.
Jesus
There's
Christ.
pressing financial reasons to not go to Cheesecake Factory because not that large group of people can blow $1,000 at a Cheesecake Factory.
I have
Or two.
paid $100 for a meal maybe like 8 times in my entire fucking life.
How much for a meal 8 times in your entire life?
$100 or more per person, right?
Yeah.
And we are talking like when last time I was in Toronto, right? I had a real, just a place called Ja Bistro, Jabistro, extraordinary sushi and literally the single best dessert I've ever tasted in my life. It's called panna cotta, and they do something fancy with it, right? The steak that I had in New York that I'm always raving about. Have I talked to you about this steak?
I think so.
Steak from a place called STK Steakhouse. Steak so good that I have trouble keeping in my mind how good the steak was after I've exited the steak restaurant. Steak so much better than any other steak that I don't have a good comparison for how good it is.
I want a steak. Wow.
Yes. Oh no. Like, it is the best steak I've ever tasted. You can ask my mother or my friend Sam, who I have been there exactly 2 times, and I paid $300 a person each of those times, and it is underpriced.
Wow.
Significantly underpriced. It is the cost of people know about the area we're from. You know the what's the steakhouse in Buffalo, the famous one?
Shit, I'm forgetting. I know it's the one right near the airport.
Yeah. Chop House, Buffalo Chop House. No, you're thinking of Salvatore's.
I'm thinking Salvatore's.
Yeah, Buffalo Chop House is like the famous one in Western New York, and they charge like $110 a steak, and they have steak that is as good steak that I can cook on my grill and on my stove. Right, I am a decent cook, and I can cook steak that good.
And yeah, once you get a steak, as long as you know what you're doing and you can cook it to your own liking, season it to your own liking, you can make really good steaks at home for 1/3 the price you get them at a restaurant.
And honestly, Buffalo Chop House, not that good. Not as good as steak you get at home. Like, as good as steak you get at Outback Steakhouse, right? Totally fine. Fine steak.
Yeah.
Good. Not worth $200 per person per seat, right? STK Steakhouse, I cannot fucking imagine. Same price. The steaks are the same price. The reason it went up to 300 is because I got blasted while I was there. Those steaks are so many times better than any steak I've ever had that, like, if they charged me $300 just for 1/2 of just the steak that I got, it would be worth it. I wouldn't pay it because I don't have that kind of money. But that is worth it. That is fucking worthwhile. If you are in New York, go to that steakhouse. Fuck it. If you like steak, go there. They're like, the steaks are like $70, $80, $100 a steak. And that is a lot, right? That's a lot of money for a steak. But it's not like an unimaginable, like, that is the amount you expect to pay for a good steak, and this is not good steak. Okay? This is fucking not good steak, Zach. This is incredible steak. And you spent that much money at Cheesecake Factory?
To be fair, it was split like 9 ways, which is still a lot of money.
No, it's not. It wasn't split. Yes, it was $1,000 split 9 ways. You spent $110 at the Cheesecake Factory?
I think I got to get out lower because I wasn't drinking alcohol or ordering dessert.
All right,
I think
that's
I only throw in 75 or some insane.
all right.
Look,
This is
look, I
fair.
was not happy at the price. But I did sign up to go there. I should have known what I was getting myself into.
So
I
tangent
then bought
closed.
very cheap alcoholic beverages at the bar we went to afterwards because
Yeah.
apparently that wasn't enough for people's wallets.
So tangent closed. It is for these reasons that in the last 2 years, I have tried to be very, very critical of the restaurant trips that I make because Fat Tom and like current Tom is no longer nearly as fat as I was. Uh, uh, my at my max I was 315 pounds, and I lost a lot of that, and then I gained a lot of it back. My max this time was 265. That was late last year.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is because of restaurants, right? Because it is so easy and so satisfying to get the bad feelings out of my brain by hitting Wendy's. My God, I can slam. I don't know what the upper bound for my chicken nuggets are. I bet I can slam 50 nuggets without like batting an eye.
Yeah, oh, I could probably do the same thing.
My God.
I gotta control the amount of chicken that's put in front of me. Granted, chicken's way better for you than beef in most instances. So
This
like
this this is true. Both of which are better than like French fries and
in bacon and yeah.
I like.
There's a-
You ready? You ready for something that I've learned as a person who has been really trying to diet?
yeah.
Just like try not to eat bread. Try not to
Yeah.
eat bread and potatoes, and you will find your life significantly improved. Your efforts significantly.
Potatoes are easier if you're not going for like frying them because that's just doubling down on a bad thing.
See, that's the thing.
But
How the fuck are you making your potatoes, Zach? Are you
I,
baking your potatoes?
I do baked potatoes.
Oh,
If
baked
I'm
potatoes are
eating
delicious.
potatoes, I'll bake them.
And like I just try real hard not to eat bread.
I've
But
gotten to the point where I'll bake other things if I think I can. So like, there's no reason to fry an onion, by the way. All you're doing is adding calories. You can cook that literally any other way and will still taste like a fried onion.
yeah, but the problem is that I like the taste of fried oil.
Yeah, no, the problem is I also like the taste of fried oil.
Yeah. Yeah, like no, the reason to fry an onion is that you like the thought of eating a bloomin' onion.
Yeah, yes.
So uh currently after my trips and I have like seriously broken one time. Oh, and on that day, man, that was a great fucking day. I went to Wendy's, McDonald's. I got one of them sandwiches from Tim Hortons. I ordered a pizza, ate it in my car. That was a Domino's buffalo chicken. Uh, then I rocked up north to hang out with Zeb, and we went to a taco restaurant. And then I went and got another cheeseburger from McDonald's. Man,
It's a
that
food bender.
that day rocked. That was awesome. But you only get one token, right? So you really gotta pack them in.
You get 1 day off token. The way you wrote it was days, right? There are
Yes.
24 days in which you're allowed to eat restaurants not from home.
Exactly.
So every time you do it, you're gonna do, admittedly, probably a little too much.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh yeah. You better believe I'm.
To counteract it.
You better believe I'm fucking. I'm.
Like, did I eat fucking 10 burgers yesterday?
Man, I'm doing fucking lines of the powdered sugar on the donuts they serve at Taco Bell. Whoo, baby! My God! And like, man, I'm going to Toronto again in a couple of weekends, and like, dude, holy shit! Oh my God! I am gonna have like a $150 meal. It's gonna be great. I'm very excited. Oh, and my family's trying to talk. My family's trying to talk me into going to London with them for the Bills game, and that'll be another one, right? That'll be another one
I thought about that also. Honestly,
come.
it might not be super achievable, but
You want to board together in London?
goodness, going to London, man. London did ruin the life of somebody I used to date, so there's a chance it'll do it to me. But sorry, the city of London. Do you like verifiably ruined at least one life. This shouldn't be shocking to you. You're London.
Yeah.
But
So my restaurant resolution, not to get too far off track, right? My restaurant
yes.
resolution, I have used 13 of my 24 tokens. I have 11 remaining.
Do you think you can make it through the rest of the year on 11 tokens?
I definitely can. Yes, I definitely can. Because like I am what, 2 total tokens behind par?
Yeah.
And if you're I have 6 holes, right? I have 6 holes left, and I need to shoot under par on 2 of those holes.
Then you're good.
Entirely doable, and that's not the point, right? It is, well, I mean, it partially is. I really like the idea of beating you and Zeb.
Just by trying to, even if you fail modestly in this, you'll have eaten at restaurants way, way, way less than you would have otherwise.
Exactly. Let me share something with the crowd. I don't know if I did this last time. When I did the same resolution last year and I failed in November. The year before that, I ran the numbers on how much food I spent at restaurants. At the end of every year, I will go through all of my finances for the previous year and figure out how much I've spent on what. And it is a stressful, horrible, miserable business because you realize how much money you spent on making yourself feel good, right? And like making yourself feel good because you're seeing a movie with friends is different from making yourself feel good like I do by eating 1,800 calories at Wendy's. Eating food at restaurants in 2021, I spent $9,000. You know, I was expecting somewhat of a reaction to that.
Sorry, repeat that.
But okay, that's fine. I guess that's not as
I heard that number and my mind deleted it as impossible. You're gonna have to repeat it again.
$9,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No offense.
I averaged eating at restaurants every other day.
And well, some of that's gonna have to go to like groceries to compensate. Like, not nearly as much.
Jesus Christ!
There's probably $4,000 that could have been in your bank account. Maybe $5,000 could have been in your bank account.
Last year I ran it again and it was $6,000. I cut my spending by $6,000 by eating at restaurants as little as I did.
Wow.
Yep. I took it from $9,000 to $3,000. And that having an extra $6,000 in your pocket is holy shit. I was able to do things. Oh my God.
Debts I could pay off.
Yeah, and like I don't make a lot of money, to be totally frank. I do not make enough money that I can afford $6,000 out the door. Right? That is a car. That is a car. That ended up being my Subaru. Right? Like that money that I saved not eating food at restaurants ended up being my Subaru. It ended up being a combination of my Subaru and my trip to Mexico earlier this year.
Does your Subaru have a name?
My Subaru's name is Dax.
Oh, hey, that's like my avatar.
Yeah. Zeb and I are actually in an active debate as to whether all of my cars should be named Dax.
And you're the symbiote.
Yeah, this is Subaru Dax. Maybe next time we'll have we'll have Focus Dax.
I need to switch cars eventually. This one's wearing on me.
All right, I am moving us away.
Yes.
From that resolution.
To get through and not as much time as I'd like to get through them.
Yep.
So I got a hard out at 2, and I should probably shower before then.
Okay, then let's carry on. You pick the next one we're doing.
We just went through one of yours, so you should pick one of mine, actually.
Yeah, let's talk about board games.
Board games. I've done very little work on this. I'll be the first to admit. But I'm probably going to have to tweak the wording of that one because, fortuitously, I'm getting modding experience on a different Hearts of Iron 4 mod.
Oh, interesting.
I got invited. They're doing something I wanted to do, which was make very detailed presidential elections in a Hearts of Iron mod. I am part of the writing team, even though I don't do much for the. I'm okay naming this one because it doesn't have nearly as much dark stuff going on. I'm a part of the writing team for Cold War: The Iron Curtain, a total conversion mod that makes uh, Hearts of Iron 4 into the Cold War instead of World War II. And I will be doing some modding there. My writing will be done in such a way that there's a little bit of like coding baked into it.
Oh,
And
hell
I
yeah.
feel like you're the custodian of this. I feel like that still totally fits in the spirit of what I was aiming for.
Finalize a board game and game mode? Hell yeah. Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. That's like the fact and that's one of the reasons that we sort of like we don't get super specific, right? There's a reason that I didn't put run in the Buffalo Marathon 10K because I could just end up fucking deciding not to do that.
Yeah.
So like you are if you successfully mod this game and it goes live, absolutely. I don't care which game it is. And your
Yeah.
personal achievement also doesn't care which game it is.
Yes, and I in my server I have with friends where we do this more specifically. I did write it more specifically, but we're probably gonna do. We'll talk about stimmies at the end here. One of the things we added last year, instead of just a stimmy, was an edit for some of them, where you could edit things to be tweaked a tiny bit, so the spirit's still the same, but the wording's a little different. This one would be prime for an edit in that server, but we'll talk about those when we reach the end of this. I think maybe we'll discuss whether we're doing stimmies or edits or stretch goals this time around for this video. Maybe
We
not.
we can talk about it if we feel if between the two of us we feel like we should. We
Yeah,
can talk about it. Maybe like August 1st stimmies because we started late.
yeah, I agree.
We can talk about it as we're like yeah. Well, maybe we'll do another update around that time maybe. And if we're doing stimulus packages, we'll announce them then.
Yeah. Uh,
I
so Tom, tell me about 10 con events.
Yeah, my God, the illustrious DJ Ewok can confirm I have run 2 con events so far. I ran, uh,
Jeopardy.
yep, Jeopardy for Nerds, as well as Actually, which is extremely fun, and I would love to play that on stream, by the way.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
And I have at least one more on the docket. Assuming that I am able to put the funds together to make it to Con of Thrones, Zach and I will both be at Con of Thrones um in August. I am
We had a panel with random internet guy and Mira Reeds.
yeah. And I will be gathering people in the main hall to do the thing that they did at Live Aid. Hey.
uh, I'll be there. I'll help you with that event. I think we are Jamie Lannister's defense team,
Oh, sick.
which means we should compile our arguments.
Love that man.
Love that man. He did nothing wrong. We're specifically. I don't know if we're supposed to tip too much. I mean, I guess it's in the description of the convention, but we're doing a defense for his breach of
Yeah.
contract.
This is if unless I'm mistaken, this is a Mira pitch. Where she put this together, she signed up for the event, she orchestrated all of this,
Yes.
and it is like a mock trial of Jamie Lannister, which is super cool.
Yeah. Yes. And we are on his defense.
So I have 2. A third is on the docket. I will need to find more. And that is that for that.
Yeah, you're going to need to find more conventions too. There should be a run of some in the fall. I just don't know what you would run, but
Maybe I'll do more Dread. I love Dread.
Dread's good.
Zach, talk to me about your graves.
Oh, so I've got started on this. When my mom came down to Philadelphia, we realized we were actually quite close to the. But we were just going around to see different parts of the city. She wanted to see the Liberty Bell because I don't think she'd ever seen it before. The Liberty Bell isn't actually all that special. I'm gonna like rip that band-aid off for people who are going to visit Philly now. You should just look at it through the window and not do the whole tour thing. But nearby, there's some fascinating stuff, including Constitution Hall. But there's also a graveyard that has Benjamin Franklin. Let me go to Progress channel on my resolution server here. Benjamin Franklin was who I went there to see. But there's another Benjamin, Benjamin Rush, a good friend of his, a very early abolitionist, and the father of American psychiatry. Those are the first two graves I visited. Benjamin Franklin, I thought was a good uh, choice for the first one. And in a bit of serendipity, I went there on April 17th, which is the day that he died, which I didn't know. I was visiting on the date of his death. So that was a little odd and spooky. But those were the first two. While I'm in Buffalo, I am going to knock out, I think, 6 or 7 across Buffalo and Rochester while I'm here. Uh, First of all, I have some friends and family who have passed who I'd like to go visit. Uh, those are going to be obviously quite personal, but I want to include them. I visited her before, but in Buffalo, Shirley Chisholm is buried
Yeah.
in Forest Lawn. She was the first Black woman to run for the Democratic nomination. Fiery speaker, but she had a very kind soul to her, and she saw the best in everybody and tried to make peace and with everybody she could. And when you know horrible racist and segregationist George Wallace was shot, she, a black woman who he presumably wasn't as cool with, was the first person, other presidential candidate, to visit his bedside and wish him well. And later, he changed his mind about segregation and supported integration for the rest of his life. So I'd like to think she did something about that. I'd like to think when you get shot, somebody tries to murder you, and the person that the type of person that you've been demonizing for years is the first person to give you flowers, you probably do some self-reflection, right? You're probably like, man, I am kind of racist. uh, and I admire that sort of tenacity to do the right thing, but to also try and convince people, to try and persuade people who are, doing bad things, doing wrong. You can have both a cudgel and what's the opposite of a cudgel, Tom? What's the metaphor I'm going for here?
Carrot.
Carrot and stick. Yeah, you can have a carrot and stick. And I admire people who did both. And
Let's go with a cudgel and a cake.
cudgel and a cake. Yes. Uh, and similarly, in Rochester, in one cemetery, is Susan B. Anthony and Frederick Douglass are both buried.
Yes, I love this cemetery.
And
This is
I
called
have
this is called Mount Hope, and it is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to Mount Hope. I have a not to tip my hand too much campaign pin that I feel like deserves to be dropped off there at Susan B. Anthony's grave because it would have not been possible without her, or it would have been impossible without her. And Frederick Douglass, I admire the hell out of. Also, genius intellectual, civil rights hero. Well before that was a thing you could be, and he was another very like smart pragmatic thinker who convinced a lot of people who might have otherwise fallen for racist rhetoric to not do that. He put out very smart, reasoned, intellectual but compassionate arguments that got a lot of people to think about things a different way.
I
And
I'm
I,
I'm
I
afraid
admire the
I'm
shit.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to reschedule the abolitionist history for another video.
Well, yes, we'll get into abolitionist history in another video, I'm sure. I admire the shit out of Frederick Douglass. I admire people who could tell you off, but also find people who were capable of reform and redemption and lead them to that.
Also,
That's kind
he's
of my whole.
like not to one of the most handsome historical figures in American history.
Frederick Douglass was a DILF. Let's just put
He's
it.
like such a hot motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
not lose sight of that. He is extremely attractive.
It's great when somebody can be morally compelling and also hot as fuck.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Like speaks revolutionary rhetoric and then winks. Okay. All right. So what's your number at right now?
I am at 2, but I
Okay.
will be at low I'll be at high single digits before I go back to Philly, and I've also got multiple trips planned in New York City. And when I'm in DC, which I plan to be at least twice this year, an Arlington tour is on schedule.
Excellent.
So I will be able to knock out possibly half the list uh, in Arlington, and I have one grave planned for when we go down for Con of Thrones
I
because
got a hot take, by the way.
you know
Arlington
who's
is
buried in the Orlando area is Bob Ross.
I have a hot take.
Okay, go for it.
Arlington is overrated.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of ugly. And
That's a bummer because so many cool people are buried there that I intend to
it's
visit.
so fucking open and so hot.
Well, yeah, it is Virginia swamps.
Yeah, and
Well, in
like
fact,
zero
swamps.
trees.
It is Virginia. But
Forest Lawn and Mount Hope are both partially wooded, which is very nice.
yeah,
Uh,
yes.
Arlington, no shade. It is just like gleaming white in every direction. Very, very powerful atmosphere, not an attractive one to me. Fight me in the comments. Zach, pick another one.
Let's see. One of yours. Let's see. Tell me about your goal to plunder a sunken ship.
Oh yeah, that's very fun. No progress. Uh, uh, I, I have. Well, no, that's not true. Since the last time we did this, I have two more. I have a 30 and a 45-foot dive under my belt earlier this year. I'm going to need quite a few more to be able to go ship diving. I don't know if that is technically possible, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Zach, talk to me about your Warhammer minis.
Oh God, I finally I got most of them down to Pennsylvania. There's a couple more I need to grab here. I didn't bring my fantasy down. I don't have a painting table set up. This is a big problem with working 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, often known as 70 hours a week. Is I didn't really have time to do that, and there's a little bit of setup required. So I'm gonna need to while I'm up here. Part of the things like list of things I bring back down are gonna be paintbrushes, things of paint, and then when I do my great post blank, because I can't say what blank is, telling my job is cleaning. You know the one. Tom knows exactly what I'm talking about. You've done this before. Uh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
yes. Once I do my great cleaning, I will get a painting table set up. I have so many, but some fun thing I found out today when I was back visiting my family and staying with my brother is that my brother also made a goal separately to paint all of his unpainted Warhammer minis this year. So we're racing each other.
I love this. I love this very much, actually.
Yeah.
About how many do you have to go?
I haven't done a full audit yet, but I play orcs, and in 40K, and in fantasy I play Sylvan. Sylvaneth don't have as many, so I probably only have less than 20 Sylvaneth, but I probably have about 100 orcs,
My God.
plus vehicles, plus stuff like that. And that's before I count the Gretchen, who are almost entirely all unpainted. Gretchen or Grots are space goblins. I probably have an additional 50 or 60 Gretchen that need to be painted. So it might be close to 150. I might be way off because I haven't done an audit of what is and isn't painted, and what needs touch ups and et cetera, et cetera. But I imagine this is, if not high double digits, in the like mid triple digit. Well, not mid triple, low triple digits. Number of miniatures.
All right. You want to talk to me about you want to talk to me about your Paradox Mega campaign?
Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 4. Oh, it's your turn. I gotta pick one of yours. Tell me about purchasing a building.
Oh yeah, I bought a building.
Congrats! You
Yeah.
own a building.
Yeah,
Tell
I
me
do.
about the building.
I do. I own the building. It's mine. No one can tell me it's not. It's mine.
Tell. Can you go through the bookshelf bit?
Yes, I'll go through the bookshelf bit. Hang on. I have I have a drawing tablet. Uh, I have, I bought a house. It is a very shitty house.
It is in
Uh,
state of disrepair. You told me that there were dead raccoons. You had a significant amount of ants fall on your face.
yeah, that was fun. Yeah, multiple dead raccoons removed from multiple places. Um, all of the carpets needed to be ripped out. Those are all gone. Uh, uh, and look, all right. I'm talking about the second floor. Okay, it's a 3 bed, 1 bath that is
Yeah.
in a true state of disrepair. You have bathroom, and then left of the bathroom is bedroom one. That's the master bedroom. Very nice. The left of the bathroom of bedroom one is bedroom two. Bedroom two is nice and fine and leads to a door to the rooftop patio.
Ooh.
Yes, very cool. But what's not very cool about that is that it like you need to move through someone's like private space to get to the rooftop patio.
Yeah.
And that's very weird. And then bedroom 3 is similar. It's nice, it's small, and it has a door to the covered attic, which is very nice. Uh uh So in order to get to the covered attic, you also need to walk through someone else's private area. And like it's very much a like an 1890s style of architecture where like these are children, why would they need privacy? Um like of course I'm going to walk through their house out their room out onto the porch. They can't have the door closed. Um so I'm thinking like what I'm going to do with it. Uh, and I think that I'm just gonna commit to it, and I'm gonna make the finished attic a sort of like a secret area, and we're gonna do we're gonna do bookshelf door. Okay, so here's the door, right? The door's back here, and we're gonna have a bookshelf on rails that slides out of the way of the door.
Yeah.
Right in the
Uh,
book, you pull a copy of like Fahrenheit 451 or some shit. You pull it out, it unlatches from the top, slides this way. There's some bumpers that connect up here, and it slides through the door frame, and you walk up the slightly small stairs. Bookshelf door.
I adore this idea. It's great.
Bookshelf door. I might put in the Discord the picture of the original bookshelf door schematic because I find it really funny.
Oh yeah, please, please. It's such a good. I don't think I've seen it yet, but I've heard you describe it, and I've watched your little drawing there, and it cracks me up.
God, it's so funny. Hang on, I'm actually gonna do that. All right. You talk about. Let's see. You talk about. How's your bass training going?
Slowly. I have not been up to par on that. Again, I was working way too much, and I was getting home late, and playing bass guitar late at night is not advisable. Not that my roommates don't also stay up late, and the downstairs neighbors get into arguments at 3 a.m., so clearly they're not sleeping. But uh, uh, I just feel uncomfortable playing a loud instrument, when you're not supposed to play loud instruments. So that is something that I intend to get back on soon, and I'm gonna need people to hold me to that. So I'm probably gonna deputize some of my friends to check in on that. I did get a little bit of practice in earlier this year, and it was going better than I anticipated in terms of being able to play for an extended period of time without my hands cramping up or getting blisters. I was a lot better than I thought I was in terms of songs I could get through. I just really need to focus on songs that I have down pretty well. I want to learn new songs, obviously, but I sometimes get to the point where I like hear a very difficult song and I want to learn it just to say that I could, and I put too much time into that.
I sympathize with
You,
this.
you've witnessed me do this before.
Oh yeah,
You've
100%.
witnessed me see a very difficult bass line and just be like, I need to feel. It's like a boss in a video game to me. I need to.
All right. Moving right along. Why don't you let's see. Whatever.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Tell me about your tattoo.
Um. Planned, but not no appointment made yet. Goodbye.
I was
Uh.
thinking about getting a tattoo, but I haven't
I love. I
committed
love.
to it yet.
I
I'm
love
not
tattoos.
100% sold.
I also know where I'm gonna get it. I am. I have my any tattoos that I get are extremely specific. Um.
Yeah.
So I have selected an artist that I am going to have do it. And you know what? As a matter of fact, you know what? Damn it! Hang on.
Are you
I'm
posting that in resolution discussion also?
no. I'm gonna do it right now. Hang on. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Okay. You tell me. Let's see what we have here. You tell me about how your SCPs are going. Your SCPs
Okay.
and video essays. We know we have one excellent one up.
Well, that video essay is from last year, so that doesn't count towards this one. Uh,
Fight me.
Unfortunately, I have started scripting two of the video essays. I don't know if those are going to be the two that get finished, uh, because one of them is a huge undertaking that I want to say a lot about and requires a lot of research, and I don't want to put myself through that. Another one I could probably have done if I hunker down and do like a day's worth of writing and just fully put myself into it and then do some recording. But I'm gonna do another one that's a little more ambitious and a little more free form, I think, because I have a passion to get it done. And I have some like B-roll I've already recorded for it. I like went out to places and filmed. I think once I get back to Pennsylvania, I'm gonna put some focus into going to places I need to go to uh, get some of the background footage for that. It's gonna be a little bit more personal of a journey, but it's still gonna be informative.
All right.
As for the SCPs, there is a contest going on right now. That there's a couple days left. I might enter it. I might not. It's been over a year since I posted my last SCP anything, which is a bummer. Uh, but I might try and enter that contest. Otherwise, I have a couple drafts that I have been reorganizing. I've been looking into. I've been like making notes of where I want to take tweaks. I just haven't actually made the jump yet. I did add a little bit to one of them earlier this year, and then promptly did nothing more with it. That one will probably be one of the ones that's published. There's a couple I think I want to get done this year. Another one is going to be done with video also. So that one might be a good thing to focus on now that I have some more free time. We will see. But it's not a ton of progress, but not zero progress either.
All right. I like your SCPs. They're extremely good. And I would love to see more of them, but I also understand that it's extremely fucking hard to find time.
And I always like I said about my writing earlier, I put myself in a very specific brain space where I'm thinking about the things that are in it very frequently. I am a writer where I know where I'm starting and I know where I'm going and I need to bridge the gap in between. It's a very intensive process on my brain. And it's hard to do that and a very difficult job at the same time. I actually think the last really great SCP that I like poured my heart and soul into, I literally had like a long weekend where I did nothing but work on it.
Uh, I think that this is a wonderful idea, and I would like you to riff for another 60 seconds.
Riff for another 60 seconds. Um, so wait, I did the zoo bit in a. I don't know if that ended up in a video or not. Uh, where was the stream? I'm running out of bits.
You got this. I believe in you.
But um, so
You
it's
got this. Don't panic.
uh, I'm struggling with things to say. I guess I could talk about some of my SCP ideas, but I don't want to tip my hat too hard. I want it to be surprising when they come out. But the one with the video is going to be a lot of fun. I'm probably going to be a central character in that. The problem with that one is there's some hurdles I need to clear, like prop design, because the SCP is going to be a literal physical object I create that will appear in the video. Uh, which is fun. And when you understand the context it's in, it's going to be very silly, goofy, and I think it's going to crack people up while still being a compelling SCP idea, which is rare. But I really think this one can like stick the landing on it. Uh, I don't know how I'm going to get the ball rolling on that. I also need to find a lab coat. I know I have a lab coat around here. I don't know if it fits me anymore. It's from when I was a much skinnier man and I did a Otacon cosplay for a convention. For those of you who like Metal Gear Solid, if I still have that lab coat around, it still fits. And neither of those things are guaranteed. I'll
hear
get the
about
ball
your
rolling.
availability whenever you have the chance. Availability in the next few months.
Are you scheduling your tattoo appointment right now?
You can reach me at this number that I am not going to say on stream.
867-530-9.
Damn it, Zach! By text.
That was so genuine.
Amen.
I felt like I really upset you for a second there. Like,
I'm sorry. I apologize. Hoping you are well. Exclamation point. I've been following y'all on Instagram for a little while, and I was hoping to schedule a consultation for a tattoo with person's full name here. It was a super cool art style that I love. I'd love to hear about your availability in the next few months whenever you have a chance. You can reach me by text or call or email me back whenever. Send. There it is. That's progress on that one.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah!
Tom.
I like these meetings.
Tom.
Yeah.
Tell me about starting a Patreon.
Hey, I started a Patreon!
We did.
We have 18 patrons?
18, I think. Yeah.
18 fucking patrons?
Yeah.
Which is extraordinary.
And a lot of people went for the higher tier too.
Yeah.
We should do some of those lower tier rewards relatively soon. We should do a run of games where we use the prompts we got from people.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at those in a little while. Let's take a
pun
look.
episode with people submitted puns, and I
Hell
would love
yeah.
to do a you're all wrong with some of the submissions because we got a whole spreadsheet from folks somewhere. I'm not sure where it is.
You're damn right, we sure do. Yeah. I mean, what is it, Tom, to say? We do have a Patreon.
Yeah, 100%. That one has been achieved.
There you go. This one is the nerd form, is what it's called. There it is. Boop 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 boop. Oh, I know why I couldn't find it, because it's not in Google Sheets, it's in Google Forms. Right. Don't look at my stuff. Nerd form. Responses.
Your responses.
Okay. All right, just a few. Okay. By the way, if any of the fine individuals in the Patreon want to use the nerd form, it's in there, and we do find those good memes.
We'll use them for pun episodes. We'll use them for You're All Wrong, and for other stuff. Like if you submit something in that tier, we will do our best to incorporate it the next time we do one of those.
And on a related note, Zach, how much you making on the internet right now?
Well, how do we divide in a single month? Because how much did we make on YouTube this month? I know how much I just received from you. Was that you sent me both our Patreon and our YouTube earnings?
Yeah, I sent them in 2 chunks.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
If so, I'm damn close to 200.
Yep.
We're getting very close, and we didn't have a lot of stream donations. We didn't have a lot of videos that popped off. If we have a very good month, relatively soon, we have a stream that gets a lot of donations. We have a video that really pops off. That I think it's totally achievable.
I think so as well. So let's pull back the curtain just a little bit of a hair. right? We've talked about this. I like talking about like the finances of YouTube on the internet. I think that it kind of sucks that people don't sometimes because it makes this like opaque black box, and I don't like that. Last month I think we made $117 in combined stream revenue and ad revenue. Which is
Was that each or was that total?
That's total. That's total. Split between the two of us.
Okay.
Which is super fucking cool, honestly. Uh, uh, and like that's a tank of gas every month
Well,
that doesn't
earning
weigh on me, you know. That doesn't like that's a little bit of extra breathing room that doesn't hurt, you know.
yeah, and I'm releasing an album this year, so if I don't cross it before then, I feel like any amount of y'all buying my album or listening to it on Spotify or whatever, and I might do a pay what you want model for digital, including nothing at all, classic Radiohead in Rainbows model. That might be what tips me over, and if so, I'd be overjoyed because any amount of people supporting my music would like probably legitimately make me cry.
Yeah, we are. I think that it is very reasonable to imagine if you release this at the end of August, the month of September will succeed this resolution for you.
I think so.
That's a very cool thing to think about, Zach. That's really super
Yeah.
cool. Have you thought about like what are we doing, like a limited physical release?
Yeah, that's the plan. Is I want to get at least 100 physical copies, and if you love the album, uh, don't just buy it to like support me. If you love the album, and want a copy of it, uh, like first of all, thank you, and second of all, I'm gonna try my damnedest to make that happen. Physical release was a huge part of what like I wanted to make this real to me. I wanted
Yeah.
to be able to say in 40 years when I'm an old wise man, oh yeah, I was also a musician. I have some copies of my album still. Hopefully,
I
people will know that about me because I went on a couple tours and was like an artist of maybe not a ton of renown, but renown
Right,
enough.
that like you know, nerdy people in video game circles would be like, "Oh yeah, I know him."
He made music for the XYZ video game, and he
Yeah.
also made original albums. Yeah,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
he made all the music for like the third Ori and the Blind Forest game.
That's never happening. I'm gonna tell you right now. I haven't got that caliber yet. But and they'll be on Ori and the Blind Forest 7, but have them that caliber. But that
Uh
will also probably be in my 40s, so who knows?
and like also, I would really like a copy of your album in my CD case in my shitty little Subaru.
Yeah, that'd be a nice thing to have.
Damn right. Damn right.
I want to be able to show off my own copy of it, and like there are people who are gonna want a physical copy of it. Hopefully, I'm kind of happy with how this album sounds, and I feel like there's a market for this. I don't think that it's like gonna be in anybody's greatest of all time lists, but I feel like there's some people who will say this is a nice little album. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm over or underselling myself. It's impossible to tell.
It is extremely difficult to know, and I know that if you do a limited release of this, I sure as sugar am gonna buy a copy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You goddamn right. Zach,
All right.
hit me on
That
one of
knocks out
mine.
our Patreon, and that knocks out your Patreon one too, as well as my
Oh,
money permit. So
oh yeah,
we have
but
two with one
but
stone.
I have left purchase a building and start a Patreon on the page.
Oh, they're there, and you get points for them. Yeah,
You
you're
goddamn right.
right. Tell me about publishing over 75 videos.
I actually counted while we were sitting here. We're at 43. We
Woo!
on the main channel we are at 33 plus other assorted ones in other like walks of life. Including the other channel that I'm not like popularizing, that other people have started to find.
People have found it.
You
Oh,
goddamn right they have.
Oh, that's fun.
Yep.
Well, I'm not going to say a damn thing about it, but it is out there, and Tom still adds videos to it.
So we are more than halfway there. This is going to happen for sure. I'm excited about it. It hasn't happened yet, but it's gonna happen.
I mean, I don't popularize my DJ channel. People, I mean, I comment. People have found it. People are aware it's mine. I still post shit posts and mashups to that channel. You can find it if you're. I mean, I feel like if you're on the Interesting Nerd Network and listening to it, 2-ish hour video about our personal like goals, you've probably already found my DJ channel. But if you haven't, now's the time to look.
So Zach, speaking of music, your Hearts of Iron mod.
Yes. I want to pat myself on the back here. The current mod that we're on, the current like update we're on in the mod, the current like patch basically, I have the main theme.
Seriously?
There's a theme. If you boot up the game, and this is the perfect temptation for you to finally give it a try. If you boot up the game right now, the song that plays was composed by me.
That's so fucking cool.
They made a cut of it where it cuts into a different song if it takes too long to load because it's a rather short song. Well, it says rather short. It's a standard song length. But the last one that was an opening theme was a very long song, so it could take an entire loading screen if your computer was bad. But I have, I guess I'll tip my hat here. The song is called Ugly American for the Ugly American patch. This is also the patch that horribly broke the game, so I'll forever be associated with that, but I'm fine with that. People really like the song. So I did not expect that. That was kind of like a pipe dream of mine, was one of these would be the main theme to a patch, a named patch. And lo and behold, it was very, very early on that came to be. So, unless there's an update coming out right now that undoes that, which to be fair, I haven't paid too much attention recently, so maybe I'm wrong. But no, because it would have released it on the YouTube channel, and my song is the newest entry on the YouTube channel. It's the main theme. It's a lot of fun. I was very inspired by the Beach Boys, but it's not like as upbeat as a Beach Boys song might be. But you should check it out. And how many songs have I contributed thus far this year? I did. Hold on. I can find out. I can go to the YouTube channel right now for the OST. Again, I want to warn you, this game takes place in a very dark and horrifying alternate history where bad things happen. Oh no, the music's playing.
Don't you fucking own it?
That one wasn't mine.
Oh, okay.
But they're all pretty much free.
I'm over here like, bro, don't you fucking own that music? I swear to God, if we get copyright struck from you, I'm actually gonna be mad.
There's multiple composers. I'm not the only one. But let's see. 1, 2.
Tom,
3.
we used my music without my permission. I don't know what you want from me. I'm gonna get all the ad revenue from this one.
And then 4, and then 5. There's 2 others I put in that haven't had a patch out yet to be pushed with. So I'm halfway there. I'm at 5 right now. And I was working on another one before I came back to Buffalo.
Okay.
So
something like halfway there.
Halfway there, yes.
Freaking
I also did all the sound effects for they had a patch that added a bunch of new sound effects to the game, and they needed to make newer versions of them, and I did all those sound effects. So the sound effects that they use in that mod were also made by me. If you hear any computer bloops instead of horns for collecting medals, people who play Hearts of Iron will understand that. Those are me. Those are me. Those are all me.
On a related note, talk to me about your other albums.
Okay, so covers. I've done a decent amount of work on some of those. So I have a bunch of lo-fi-ish covers that will come out on my shitposty DJ channel probably right around the same time I officially release my actual lo-fi record as like a little companion piece so you can see the songs that sort of inspired me done in that style. I think that's a neat little way to do it. That's pretty much, I don't want to say it's done, but I just need to record the vocals over some of them and then do more if I want to. But I could, in theory, like wrap that up in a minute if I wanted to.
So wait,
for the album originals,
I was gonna say, do you have 2 albums that are like gunning toward completion?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking sick, dude.
Yeah. Uh, the for the album of originals, the problem is I started working on two, uh, possibly three. Like they exist in similar brain spaces, and I'm glad you're here, Tom, because I want to pitch all of them to you. Uh, I cannot have any of these three album ideas come out back to back because they're kind of similar, and I want to do what David Bowie did. David Bowie's a big inspiration for me. He's not my favorite musician, but if there was a musician I could end up like, David Bowie would be the person I'd want to pick. Although hopefully I'd live a little longer. Although he did live a pretty long, healthy life. Just I would have another 15 years of David Bowie would have been appreciated. But uh, so the Rinkaria, the album that is coming out this year in August, I swear to God, for real this time, is a lo-fi, jazzy love story. It is a story of a relationship from beginning to end, with some neat little twists on it, of the characters having known each other before, and like learning more about each other, as they, pursue their relationship. It is slow and sweet and sad and melancholy, and there's some very well hidden samples in there, and it's got some like lo-fi-ish style beats with some jazzy like synth instruments. It's a very different like tone from what I want to strike in my next album, which is where so let me run you through the three ideas I have right now. Number idea number one is called the Tyrant. The Tyrant is going to be this rise and fall of somebody who becomes a like autocratic ruler who starts off as a freedom fighter, who starts off trying to oppose autocratic rule, only to end up being worse than the dictator he took down. Uh, and I want it told purely from that character's perspective. Uh, like his sanity is slipping through the end of it as he realizes he's reaching the end of his life and his reign, sort of thing. It almost has a little bit of the wall going on in it, with like the
Nice.
character who you're following around is losing his sanity. And I want this to be dark synthwave. I want this to be like a sort of like 80s style synth pop, but darker and edgier and eviler, and harsher. And I think that'd be a really fun album. I think I can have a lot of fun with that, and I can do evil laughs, and I can do all sorts of like crazy singing techniques. It sounds like something I can have a lot of fun with. That's one idea. Uh, the other one, I think I'm going to call it Creep Show, is uh combining like synthy stuff with like some industrial stuff, like a little bit of Muse almost. I want to talk about like I want to kind of vamp on the like creepy sexy vibe, the one,
Yeah.
like the sexy vampires, but like maybe not as sexy and a little more vampire-y. The monstery, like, combine dark things in that matter. Basically, like if in Sexy Back, Justin Timberlake, that's who did Sexy Back. Uh, oh wait, I'm right. I don't need to like pretend. Was in his like uh was in a Backstreet Boys Halloween costume instead of clothes. Yeah, that would be the one. I think Justin was actually in the other boy band, but yeah,
how dare you diss NSYNC like that?
the I'm aware of their work.
How dare you refer to them as the Backstreet Boys and the other one? How fucking dare you?
I'm gonna get flack for that in the comments.
Yeah,
Uh,
please light this human being up.
yeah, and then yeah, so I want to do a almost evil boy band sort of thing, if that makes sense. Like I'm the uh, I want to do what Stephanie Meyer failed to live up to the potential of. I want Stephanie Meyer to have snorted as much cocaine as Stephen King before she wrote Twilight.
Goddamn right.
And then the other one is I kind of want to do a weird rap album where I'm sampling and like doing some Death Grippy and Death Grips esque things, where I'm like having really aggressive instrumentals underneath rap, where I might be shouting over them. But I also want to switch up a little bit. I want to kind of do like, you know how Eminem occasionally does like, that's a weird sample for M to rap over, and he's doing like a really like unique perspective over it. He does like one or two of these every album, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. You're a big M fan, right?
Yeah, I know
You know
exactly what you're talking about, honestly.
he does like one that's just a little bit off and interesting. I love those are my favorite Eminem tracks. I would love to do an album that's all like Eminem. You know, I know this isn't going to be a pop hit tracks, and I'm torn between those three ideas.
You gotta know that my money is on vampires.
Yeah, I think if Stephanie Meyer did as much cocaine as Stephen King, is exactly the kind of music you would want to like listen to. That's what you would want to blast.
Zach, can we make that the title of the album, please? And like,
That'll be your review on the back of the album.
what the fuck is Stephanie Meyer gonna do about it? It's obviously commentary. Unless Stephanie Meyer is saying, yes, I do as much cocaine as Stephen King.
You're infringing on the copyright I took out of my cocaine.
Oh, it's a copy wrong. All right, Zach, pick one of mine. Let's get the hell out of here.
Tell me about the playable board game.
Yes, we have talked about this at length. Actually, I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's a very cool system. I've designed an extremely light deck builder.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually a ton of fun, and I have live played it a few times. It needs a hell of a lot of balance, and I'm not comfortable saying that it is done. But on this channel I might do a full video on it.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love to play test this on this channel.
I guess that's the end of that.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Let's talk about my TTRPG stuff because it's real easy. Super quick, super simple. I have played 3 sessions of D&D so far this year, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but I promise it is.
For you or I, that's a lot of D&D.
Yeah, for anyone who tries to regularly play D&D as an adult with people they don't live with, that is a lot. And we have another one scheduled for a week from Sunday, which is very nice. Zach, talk to me about your Paradox Mega campaign, because our last 2 are actually like in the same vein.
Yeah. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I have a couple friends who are interested. I have run into the logistical problem of I cannot do this campaign with only one PC, because there are certain Paradox games that will not start up properly on my desktop, and there is at least verifiably one Paradox game that is very necessary that hard crashes my laptop every time I boot it up. It straight like crashes the entire system, which is Europa Universalis 4, which runs fine on my desktop for some reason. So I'm going to have to run CK2 works on either, I think. Victoria 2 only works on my laptop. So I'm going to have to do CK2 when we were doing 2 and not 3, because there's a mod I like better in 2 that isn't fully updated to 3, I don't think. 2 to Universalis 4, Europa Universalis 4, to Victoria 2, because I haven't played 3 yet, and it's kind of a mess, to Hearts of Iron 4. And the mod I have for CK2 is When the World Stopped Making Sense, which starts you at the Fall of Rome. We're going to go all the way from the historical fall of Rome to the historical fall of Berlin, and track that entire like timeline. I just need to set a date on a calendar that all my friends agree to. I've done like all my warm-ups. I know what I'm doing. Everybody knows the mod. I was way too busy until roughly 7 days ago. So
Give or take.
Not even give or take. Pretty much literally.
Zach, are you seeing my screen right now?
I am. It's your Europa Universalis.
I do own this game.
Computer.
I don't
You could.
believe that I have ever turned it on, but I do own this game.
It would be the funniest thing if you, having played very few of these games, tried to play along. That'd be hilarious.
All right, Zach, we got two left. You want to start or should I?
You go ahead.
Okay, I've been working on on a screenplay that wasn't the screenplay that I started the year working on. Um, the god awful screenplay for this god awful horror movie has been pushed to the back burner because sometimes you get distracted, and I have been working on a god awful screenplay for a god awful like urban fantasy show? Question mark.
Yeah, yeah. You would definitely have all the things you need to make the first like episode or episodes. Like that idea seems pretty solid, and you could write it out.
But that is nowhere near complete and is currently just like, it's doing the things that things usually do. When I begin thinking about them, which is to say, that it is a collection of scenes in a pile.
Yes, and uh, from what you've shown me, it's going to be a blast. I'm very, very much looking forward to it.
All right, and finally, Zach.
Writing, direct film, and a music video.
Yeah.
So I know which songs I want music videos for off of Rankaria, but I want animated music videos for two of the songs. I know some very good animators who I could probably work out a deal with, but that wouldn't be me writing and directing it unless I made a shot list. But I want to give them some leeway. I'm probably going to make a music video for either one of the covers on the second channel that is just going to be for fun and to warm up my music video muscles, or I'll do that for that second album of originals that should be ideally close to done by the end of the year, and then I can just make a music video for one and drop it as a single, and then the other thing, the short film, that's tough. I have a plan. I'm gonna talk to the people I would need to help film it. I think Jackson playing a part in it would have to be huge because he could give a lot of guidance for how to make it funnier. And it's mostly just gonna be a collection of funny things that all exist in the same brain space. You are also somebody who could contribute to it, Tom, potentially in terms of writing.
Ooh.
Might just need a good like session where we sort of vamp about the different ideas. Uh, that is not making a lot of progress, but I still think I have time to do it.
And that is our resolution update.
Yes,
And Zach, I
I
have
have
great
no
news.
points on the board, but my stuff was going to be longer progress anyways. And you have points on the board.
I have great news. You're getting your fucking ass kicked.
Currently, I am behind,
You
but
don't have honestly, you don't have a chance.
you say
Like,
you're gonna eat those words. You're
I
gonna
don't
eat those.
know. That's a I don't know, man. You're pretty far behind. I don't know. I think that it is like unambiguously anybody's game at this point.
It is on a it is just yeah anybody's game.
We are
But
just now
you gotta do
transitioning from the early game into the mid game.
and I had a lot of year rounders that were not going to be easy to do.
And also you got stuck in work hell. There's a good chance that I get stuck in work hell in, I don't know, September, October.
Yep. And there's no saying I won't be stuck there in a similar time, but for this summer, I have a lot more time to play catch up, and I'm not that far behind as I thought I was on a lot of these resolutions. Like I could probably bang out 5 more songs for that Hearts of Iron 4 mod. I could probably bang out a more playable version of that board game, and then a little bit of that mod for the other Hearts of Iron 4, or the code for that Hearts of Iron 4 mod. I could probably catch up to you in the next couple months, and I don't know what you have. It's close enough to keep pace. But that's the fun. Is
Oh
always
yeah.
surprising.
And there is a real chance that I get bogged down during Christmas trees again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything in my power to resist it, but we'll see.
Meanwhile, I've like set up a plan to basically have the last month and a half of the year to just full sprint at these resolutions.
Yeah.
So that's always that's how I won last year. Is I with my group of friends is I did just a push in the last month or so to really knock it out of the park, and that's exactly like what I did. I just like went from probably being in third to being in first in 1 month. And that's the wonderful thing about giving yourself a year to do this, and comparing yourself, like not necessarily comparing yourself with friends, but having people cheer you on.
Yeah.
Is it's never too late until like the bell rings.
Yep. Yep. I've seen you crack out an SCP in 72 hours.
Ooh, yeah,
Right.
I remember that one.
You can do that. It sucks, but I know you can.
Yep. And sometimes you just need that little push.
All right, Zach.
Anybody watching, if you when you see this video, if you're one of the people playing along at home in the Discord, give us an update. We would love to know where you're at. Just like give a brief rundown of where you are on your different resolutions. We love hearing from people.
Yeah, we would love to
We
know.
love to know that you're doing this. So please give us an update. We're looking forward to it.
All right, Zach. I am calling it here. Thank you for playing this silly thing. Thank you so much conceiving of this extraordinary idea.
Yeah.
And I look forward to the rest of the season.
As do I.
See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.